The surprising link between estrogen and heart health. For decades, a perplexing and often tragic mystery has existed at the center of cardiovascular medicine, the gender gap in heart disease. For the first half of their lives, women seem to possess a remarkable, almost magical shield of protection against heart attacks and strokes. Their risk is significantly lower than that of men of the same age. Then, around the age of 50, something dramatic happens. This protective shield seems to vanish, and over the next decade, a woman's risk for heart disease begins a steep and relentless climb, eventually catching up to and even surpassing that of men. This is not a subtle shift. It is one of the most dramatic and predictable changes in the landscape of human health. For years, this phenomenon was observed, but not fully understood. It was often attributed to differences in lifestyle or the perceived effects of stress. Today, we know that the answer to this mystery lies not in a magical shield, but in a powerful and versatile hormone, estrogen. While most commonly associated with its role in the reproductive system, a field of medicine that was historically siloed away from cardiology, estrogen is in fact one of the most powerful guardians of a woman's heart and arteries. Its decline during menopause is not just a footnote in a woman's health story, it is the central plot twist that redefines her cardiovascular future. This article is a journey into the science behind this surprising link. We will pull back the curtain and explore, in simple and understandable terms, the three remarkable ways that estrogen protects your heart. We will examine what happens when this protection is lost and, most importantly, discuss how you can take proactive, empowered steps to build a new shield of protection for yourself in the years after menopause. Understanding this story is the first step toward rewriting its ending, transforming a period of vulnerability into one of empowered and informed self-care. Estrogen, the heart's unsung hero. Before we dive into the specifics, it is important to understand what estrogen is. It is not a single hormone but a class of hormones, and it is the primary female sex hormone. The most potent and important of these during a woman's reproductive years is called estradiol. Its most famous job is to regulate the menstrual cycle and support pregnancy, but its influence extends far beyond the reproductive organs, touching nearly every aspect of a woman's physiology. This is because of things called estrogen receptors, which are like tiny specialized docking stations for the hormone. These receptors are found in virtually every tissue in the body, including your brain, your bones, your skin, your gut, and, critically, every component of your cardiovascular system, from the heart muscle itself to the inner lining of your blood vessels. Think of estrogen as a key and these receptors as the locks. When estrogen binds to a receptor, it unlocks a specific set of instructions for that cell, telling it how to behave. This system of keys and locks allows estrogen to be a master conductor of a vast and complex orchestra of bodily functions. It helps maintain bone density, regulates mood and cognitive function, and keeps skin supple. For the majority of a woman's life, from puberty to menopause, her ovaries produce a steady supply of this vital hormone, ensuring the entire orchestra is playing in harmony. During these years, it acts as a master superintendent of her cardiovascular system, working quietly in the background to keep everything running smoothly. It is a tireless guardian, performing constant maintenance and repairs, and its work is so effective that most women are completely unaware of the profound protection it provides until it is gone. It is not just one action, but a coordinated, multi-pronged strategy that keeps the heart and arteries healthy. It anticipates problems before they arise, actively works to prevent damage, and promotes a state of balance and resilience throughout the entire system. Let us explore the three main jobs that this guardian performs, the pillars of the protective shield that it builds and maintains for decades. Job 1. Keeping the arteries flexible and open. Imagine your arteries not as rigid pipes, but as dynamic, flexible tubes that need to be able to expand and contract to manage blood flow. The health of this system depends on the inner lining of your arteries, a delicate single-cell thick layer called the endothelium. A healthy endothelium is smooth, slippery, and responsive. An unhealthy one is stiff, sticky, and inflamed. Estrogen's first and perhaps most important job is to maintain the health of this crucial lining. It does this by stimulating the endothelium to produce a remarkable molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a potent vasodilator, which is a scientific way of saying it is a powerful muscle relaxant for your arteries. It sends a constant relax and widen signal to the smooth muscle cells in your artery walls. This keeps your arteries pliable and open, allowing blood to flow through with minimal resistance. This is one of the primary reasons that premenopausal women tend to have lower blood pressure than men. When menopause occurs and estrogen levels plummet, the production of nitric oxide decreases significantly. The arteries lose their primary relax signal. As a result, they tend to become stiffer, less flexible, and more constricted. Think of the difference between a new pliable garden hose and an old one that has been left out in the sun for years and has become hard and brittle. It takes much more force to push water through the old stiff hose. In the same way, your heart has to pump much harder to push blood through these newly stiffened arteries. This increased force is what we measure as high blood pressure, and it is why hypertension becomes so much more common in women after menopause. Job 2. Managing cholesterol with precision. The second major job that estrogen performs is to act as a master regulator of cholesterol metabolism in the liver. Cholesterol is another substance with a bad reputation that is in fact essential for life. The problem is not the cholesterol itself, but the way it is transported through the blood in particles called lipoproteins. The two most famous of these are low-density lipoprotein, the bad cholesterol, and high-density lipoprotein, the good cholesterol. Think of low-density lipoprotein as the delivery trucks that transport cholesterol from your liver out to your cells. This is a necessary job, but if you have too many of these trucks on the road, they can get stuck in your artery walls and spill their contents, forming the plaques of atherosclerosis. High-density lipoprotein, on the other hand, is the cleanup crew. These particles travel through your arteries, collect excess cholesterol, and carry it back to the liver for disposal. Estrogen plays a crucial role in keeping this transportation system in a healthy balance. It signals to the liver to produce more of the good high-density lipoprotein particles, ensuring you have a robust cleanup crew. At the same time, it helps the liver to clear the bad low-density lipoprotein particles from the bloodstream more efficiently, reducing the number of delivery trucks on the road. After menopause, with the loss of estrogen's influence, this carefully balanced system is disrupted. The liver's ability to clear low-density lipoprotein can become less efficient, causing the number of these bad particles to rise. Simultaneously, the levels of the protective good high-density lipoprotein often fall. This double hit creates a lipid profile that is far more atherogenic, meaning it is much more likely to promote the buildup of plaque in the arteries. Job 3. Calming the fires of inflammation. For many years, atherosclerosis, the process of plaque buildup in the arteries, was thought of as a simple plumbing problem, like sludge accumulating in a pipe. We now understand that this is incorrect. Atherosclerosis is an inflammatory disease. The formation of plaque is an active inflammatory process, like a slow-burning fire inside the artery wall. Estrogen's third critical job is to act as a natural system-wide anti-inflammatory agent, helping to keep this fire under control. When bad low-density lipoprotein particles get stuck in the artery wall, the body's immune system sees them as a threat and mounts an inflammatory response. Immune cells rush to the scene to try to clear out the cholesterol. Estrogen helps to modulate this response, keeping it in check and preventing it from becoming excessive. It helps to keep the artery walls calm and less reactive. When estrogen levels decline, the body's inflammatory thermostat is turned up. The immune response in the artery walls can become more aggressive and less controlled. This accelerated inflammation is like throwing gasoline on the slow-burning fire of atherosclerosis, causing plaques to grow more rapidly and to become more unstable and prone to rupture, which is the event that triggers a heart attack. The menopausal transition, when the guardian retires. The menopausal transition is the period when this powerful lifelong guardian of the cardiovascular system retires. The loss of estrogen's protective effects creates a perfect storm for the development of heart disease. It is not just one thing that goes wrong. It is a simultaneous, multi-system failure of the body's natural defense mechanisms that fundamentally alters your body's internal environment from one of protection to one of vulnerability. This transition is not a single event, but a process that unfolds over several years, during which these negative changes accumulate and begin to reinforce one another. First, as we have seen, the arteries become stiffer, leading to a rise in blood pressure. Second, the cholesterol profile shifts to a more dangerous pattern, providing more of the raw material needed to build plaque. Third, the background level of inflammation increases, accelerating the plaque-building process. On top of all this, the hormonal changes of menopause often lead to an increase in insulin resistance. This means your body's cells do not respond as efficiently to the hormone insulin, making it harder to control your blood sugar. This metabolic shift is a major driver of heart disease risk in its own right, as high blood sugar can directly damage the delicate lining of the arteries. Furthermore, the loss of estrogen encourages a change in body composition. It becomes easier to gain weight, and that weight is more likely to be stored as visceral fat, the dangerous type of deep belly fat that accumulates around your internal organs. This is not the pinchable fat under your skin. It is a metabolically active organ that churns out its own inflammatory signals and hormones that can directly raise blood pressure and worsen insulin resistance. This combination of factors, stiffening arteries, rising cholesterol, increased inflammation, and adverse metabolic changes, is the answer to the mystery of the gender gap. These factors do not act in isolation, they create a vicious cycle.
The insulin resistance makes it easier to store visceral fat. The visceral fat creates more inflammation, and the inflammation further damages the arteries. This is why a woman's risk for heart disease, which was once so low, begins its dramatic and dangerous ascent in the years following her final period. The hormone therapy question, a complicated history. Given all of this, the logical question is, why not just replace the lost estrogen with hormone therapy? This is one of the most complex and controversial topics in women's health. For years, based on a large number of observational studies, it was widely believed that hormone therapy did protect the heart. But in 2002, a large and famous randomized controlled study called the Women's Health Initiative found that the most common form of oral hormone therapy at the time actually increased the risk of heart disease and stroke in older women. This shocking result led to a massive drop in the use of hormone therapy and created widespread fear and confusion. But as scientists have analyzed the data more closely over the past 2 decades, a more nuanced picture has emerged. We now understand 2 crucial things that explain the discrepancy between the early positive studies and the negative results of the Women's Health Initiative. First, timing matters. This is often called the critical window hypothesis. The women in the Women's Health Initiative were on average 63 years old, meaning most of them started hormone therapy a decade or more after their final period. Their arteries may have already developed significant, albeit silent, plaque. Starting oral hormone therapy in this context, it is believed, may have destabilized those existing plaques, leading to an increased risk of acute events. In contrast, starting hormone therapy early in menopause, within 10 years of the final period, in women with relatively healthy arteries, appears to be much safer, and may even have some cardiovascular benefits. Second, the type of hormone and how it is delivered matters immensely. The Women's Health Initiative used an oral formulation of estrogen derived from horse urine and a synthetic progestin. We now know that when estrogen is taken orally, it has to pass through the liver first. This first-pass metabolism in the liver stimulates the production of clotting factors, which is believed to be the primary reason for the increased risk of blood clots and stroke seen with oral hormones. Modern, body-identical hormones delivered through the skin via a patch or gel bypass the liver and do not appear to carry the same risk of blood clots. The type of progestin used to protect the uterus also matters, with body-identical micronized progesterone having a better safety profile than many of the older synthetics. Today, the consensus is that hormone therapy should not be used for the primary purpose of preventing heart disease. However, for healthy women who are struggling with symptoms like hot flashes early in their menopausal transition, it is a safe and effective option when prescribed carefully, with a preference for the safer transdermal route of delivery. Life after estrogen: how to build a new shield of protection. The retirement of your body's natural guardian does not mean you are left defenseless. It means it is time to build a new shield of protection, one forged from conscious, heart-healthy lifestyle choices. The wonderful news is that many of these choices can help to replicate the very same benefits that estrogen once provided. This is not about trying to turn back the clock, but about giving your body the new tools it needs to thrive in this new hormonal environment. Nourish your arteries. You can help your arteries relax and produce more nitric oxide by eating a diet rich in nitrates, which are found in beets and leafy green vegetables like spinach and arugula. You can fight inflammation by eating foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon and walnuts, and by filling your plate with antioxidant-rich berries. You can help your body manage cholesterol by eating plenty of soluble fiber from sources like oats, beans, and lentils. This type of fiber acts like a sponge in your digestive system, soaking up cholesterol and removing it from your body. Move your body. Regular aerobic exercise like brisk walking is one of the best things you can do for your heart. It strengthens the heart muscle, improves the health of your artery lining, and helps your body produce more of that crucial nitric oxide. Strength training is also vital after menopause. The loss of estrogen accelerates the loss of muscle mass. Building and maintaining muscle is one of the most effective ways to combat the insulin resistance that often develops after menopause. Think of your muscles as a sugar sponge. The more muscle you have, the more efficiently your body can clear sugar from your blood, which is profoundly protective for your heart. Calm your system. Chronic stress keeps your body in a state of fight or flight, which is inflammatory and hard on your heart. Practices like deep breathing, mindfulness, and yoga can help to activate your body's rest and digest system, which lowers your heart rate, relaxes your blood vessels, and calms inflammation, directly counteracting the effects of stress. This is particularly important during the menopausal transition, which can be a stressful time for many women. Learning to consciously calm your nervous system is a skill that provides a direct physical benefit to your heart. Conclusion: empowerment through understanding. The link between estrogen and heart health is one of the most important stories in women's health. It is a story of a powerful protector, a dramatic transition, and ultimately a story of resilience and empowerment. The loss of estrogen at menopause is a significant biological event that fundamentally changes your cardiovascular risk. But it is not your destiny. It is a predictable shift that you can prepare for and actively manage. By understanding the roles that estrogen played, you can begin to take strategic and intelligent steps to fill that protective gap. You can choose foods that relax your arteries and calm inflammation. You can move your body in ways that strengthen your heart and improve your metabolism. You can learn to manage your stress and give your cardiovascular system the rest and recovery it needs. This is not about an extreme diet or a punishing exercise regimen. It is about building a foundation of small, consistent, positive habits that work together to create a powerful, cumulative effect. The end of menstruation is not the end of your heart's story. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one in which you take on the role of the primary guardian. It is a shift from the unconscious protection of your younger years to the conscious and empowered protection of your wisdom years. Armed with knowledge and a commitment to simple, consistent, heart-healthy habits, you can build a new shield of protection that will serve you for a long, healthy, and vibrant life. It is a journey that begins not with fear of the changes to come, but with a deep and empowering understanding of your own body.